Kechi, I remember the last time I saw you, you said, I'm working on a book, and here it is, More Than My Scars. Congratulations, because to sit down and put pen to paper, it's not the first time you've done that. We'll talk about that in a second. But a lot of people have come to know parts of your story. There's a lot more of that story in this book, but let's remind people, you were one of 2 survivors of a horrific plane crash.
Yes. So it was a plane crash that happened back in my home country, Nigeria. I was 16 years old, and it took the lives of 107 of 109 people during Christmas. December 10th, 2005 is when it happened.
Yeah. You don't remember the crash itself, but
No,
when
I
you
don't.
woke up, you knew something had happened.
Yep. When the accident happened, I was in a coma right after, so about for 5 weeks or so. But during that time, I would hear my mom's voice, and she would talk to me. She would tell me where I was, what had happened, and that I was going to be okay. So when I opened my eyes, I knew where I was, and I knew that, come what may, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
So.
120 surgeries later or before, right?
Who knew,
Yeah. In all of that, there are all kinds of ways that people get through day-to-day life, right? Let alone things that can be as traumatic as what happened to you. But the power of music had always been in your soul.
Oh yeah. It's something I've always, everyone loves music obviously, but it's always been something very special to me, and became even more so. Just after the accident, my voice changed. There's really no other way to explain it. I used to love singing, but now I just sounded different.
I've been so many places in my life and time. I've sung a lot of songs and made some bad rhymes.
Do you think it was because you had more passion to it?
I
or
wonder.
Is it something else?
I have no idea why. I feel like something may have shifted or something because of the accident that no one could really explain medically. But I just remember being like, I'm not trying to even understand. I don't really care where it came from. I'm just happy to have it. And music just kind of became more of a passion than a hobby at that point. And it healed parts of me that surgery couldn't reach. So I really I depended on it a lot for just escape.
Yeah. Okay, you're my superhero so not only the music part, but then in 2015 you're economics graduate of University of St. Thomas, and you graduated not second, third, or fourth, but first in your class.
It was cool being Summa. I really worked hard for that degree. I'm not gonna lie. I put my all into it, and it was really because because 60 kids from my school were on that plane and they didn't make it. So I've always felt like I'm carrying their memories and their lives with me, trying to live my life for them as well.
Yeah.
And so that was what that degree was as well. It had to be as excellent as possible on their behalf and on the behalf of those that they left behind as well. So I really wanted to make them proud.
And let's go the extra step. You're Nigerian, and we always joke about the fact that in Nigeria, education is a serious thing. You don't play.
We don't across any Nigerian you meet with any Nigerian parents, that's just how it is. I don't know why we're just so focused on academic excellence. It's a huge thing. So you can't let your people down.
It's what do you mean you're stopping at 5 PhDs? No, we need to get a 6th one there. Okay. Your mom's over there. She's like, yes. All right.
Sounds right.
With America's Got Talent, you had no idea that a friend of yours was kind of working behind the scenes.
Oh my God, Mumi. Yeah, she's also a friend from high school, and now a lifelong friend, one of my best friends. And she basically signed me up for America's Got Talent in 2016 without telling me. She filled out the online application and everything. And after she told me that was something that she did, a couple months passed before I even got any kind of word from AGT. But they actually reached out, which shocked me because I was like, I didn't even know. You get thousands of applications. How would you see mine? So she literally changed my life with that move. She literally she took a step I was too afraid to take and changed my life.
Why were you too afraid to take it?
Because I just, I loved singing, yes, but to put myself in a competition with other singers, I felt like you're okay, you're good, Kechi, but you're not that good. Just calm down. This is just, you're singing in church. That's enough. So I never would have put myself out there to be judged by strangers, who would tell me whether or not they think I actually sound good. I live my whole life, my family telling me that. They're my family.
When your mama and grandmama say you sound good, you got to check with some other people.
You need a second opinion.
You check with millions of other people. I remember that moment. You stood up on stage and you shared a little bit of your story.
I was in a plane crash when I was 16 years old back in Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
It took the lives of 107 out of 109 passengers, and I was one of the 2 survivors.
And then they said, okay, Kechi, what are you going to sing? Let's hear you sing.
Darling, I We'll be loving you till we're 70. Honey, my heart could still fall as hard at 23.
You did it. You were also a finalist on America's Got Talent, The Champions, but Simon Cowell, the judges, all of them were just like, wow.
It was so cool. It was really cool. Very unexpected, especially from Simon, because we know, he has a reputation, of being very,
blunt.
Extremely blunt, doesn't hold back. So to hear those good things from him, I mean, they were definitely validating, that moment.
Because when he says it, he means
exactly.
it, right?
Yeah.
So it was great for you to get up on stage and say that I'm more than my scars,
yes.
right? That was one thing you did,
yes.
but you also serve in another way. And as a patient ambassador for Shriners Hospitals for Children,
yes.
They're world famous for treating burn patients, and that's how you ended up in Houston.
That's exactly right. Yeah, so I moved after my first stage of treatment in South Africa. I moved to America with my family, and it was specifically because of Shriners, to work with them and to be in the hospital that was well known for burn reconstructive surgeries. So literally Shriners gave me back my life. I usually say South Africa was like where they brought me back to life, and Shriners is where they gave me back like my independence pretty much. So without them, there's really no Kechi sitting here right now. They gave me back everything that meant something. My mobility, being able to do stuff for myself, that was all Shriners.
Yeah. All right. So I mentioned earlier that it wasn't the first time you've written a book. You wrote a book at the age of 14. Back then, you had no laptop to work on. It was all handwritten.
All handwritten.
It was made up. It was about a boy who moved to a different city in America.
Yep.
Met a hippie community.
Yep.
I don't know what was going on in your head at the time, Kechi, but you made up a whole new language for the book.
I just sometimes I think like that was like, is it a fever dream? Like, did I really do that? Like, this is what I was doing instead of studying, pretty much, just writing fiction, And I remember I was actually bringing that. My mom hadn't seen it before. I was bringing it home for the first time when the accident happened, so she could see it. I was just writing this random story that came into my head, and before I knew it, like I had. Literally, like line. People were like, next updates, any updates, chapter updates. So literally every time I update, it would like circulate like around my classmates. It was so cool.
But you lost that book in the plane crash, but there are people who saw it, they know about it, right?
Yes.
More Than My Scars, why at this time to say, okay, let me write this book, and what is it that you want people to get from this book? Because, everybody has their journey, right?
Yes,
everybody has their trials and tribulations.
Yep.
And I think in this book, is a reflection of how you most definitely can get through.
That's exactly right. I just wanted, more than anything, I wanted to share the relatability of trauma with everyone. I feel like, mine definitely happened in a very dramatic way, but, trauma is trauma, and people have different kinds of scars. They're not always as visible as mine. I wanted to acknowledge all those things and share my story, share the nitty-gritty parts of my story that people are not very aware of. I think a lot of people are used to seeing me just as they found me on social media, already kind of like myself, confident, and just being me.
When I first met you, you were just like, you're like, I don't have time to worry about this. Right? And you were so, like, in a positive way, dismissive of it, because you're like, okay, this is it. This is all you get,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
But doesn't mean that there are things that you didn't go through, because we're seeing you at the other side of that, right?
That's
coming into the light there, because you had a tumultuous walk with God.
Oh my God, it was a struggle. I mean, I was born into a Christian household and everything, but that's very different from choosing God yourself.
When life is great, God, oh, I love you, God, Jesus, God, I love you. When life is great, when life gets tough.
Oh yeah, I had so many questions. I doubted so many things, like just so many things about him that weren't really making sense given my situation. Not even about me, but like about the people that like lost their lives. I just could not understand. Did you ask yourself, why did I survive? I didn't ask that, but what I did wonder was why everyone else didn't survive. It was kind of like, I never regretted being alive. I always appreciated the fact that I survived. I knew it was a miracle, but I just didn't understand why a God that's supposedly so great wouldn't, save everyone if he could save two people. So it was kind of like this struggle to understand fairness with God, I felt like it wasn't fair that other people, like all these other parents, had to lose their own kids. So
Every
that was
one
the
of those
guilt.
kids is alive in you right now.
Oh, that's so sweet, Deborah. Thank you.
It is so true.
Thank you so much.
And I just have to tell you, you're one of those people that I run into, and I adore you since the day I first met you. You're amazing. And this book, I promise people, just give this as your gifts. Give it to anybody who's going through something, and then you just realize that life is about so much more than oftentimes we assign it.
Exactly.
Kechi, love you.
Love you too. Thank you so much, Deborah.
When your legs don't work like they used to before. All right. One day we'll have like a Debbie Kechi
we should do it. We'd like a duet.
Yeah. One day. All right. That's my dream. All right, Kechi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.